Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Emily. I'm a first year teacher and today's video is going to be a life update slash Q&A. Sorry, I had to shut the door. Also peep our little wedding sign in the back. This is our office in our house and it's a disaster, but it's like the one place with really good lighting that I can film. So I asked you guys if you had any questions for me on Instagram and I got a ton. So I really wanted to film a Q&A so that we can just chat, because I don't think I filmed a Q&A in a really long time. Also, if you're curious how I did my hair and my makeup, I did film it for TikTok, so my TikTok will be in the description box. I've been trying to post on there a lot more. I really like it because I feel like YouTube is so stressful to like film and edit and upload, and TikTok I feel like I can just like do whatever and just post it. So I've been really liking it recently. So I asked for questions about all kinds of things: teaching, marriage, life, all of that good stuff. So I'm just going to go through. I got a lot of questions. Oh, not a ton, but a good bit. So I'm gonna go through and answer these. I have not even looked at them yet, so should be interesting. Someone said, do you know if you'll be teaching the same grade next year? I do know this information, however I am not going to share anything yet until like it's official. So yeah, I'm not going to share probably until the end of the school year. My last day is May 24th, so I'll be sharing my plans for next year after that. But I do know. I just don't. I'm not telling anybody. Well, I'm not telling anybody, you know, on the internet. Would you ever do a segment on mental health? I would totally do that. That's definitely in my like list of videos to film. I'm still trying to like, mental health for me, at least right now, is such an ongoing process. And so in my mind, I like feel like I have to wait until I have everything figured out until I film that video, but I know that's just not the case, and it's going to continue to be like a journey, and I'm never going to have it completely figured out. So I definitely want to film that soon for you guys. I just need to figure out like what I want to say, what I want to do, all that kind of stuff. But yes, I will definitely do a video on mental health. Any academic content you didn't remember how to do or found difficult, what do you advise for that? Definitely like grammar stuff, because if you're new here or you're not aware, I only teach writing right now and science social studies. So I also do grammar, and a lot of that stuff I am terrible at and or forgot. So I definitely had to consult YouTube, and like they do give us like books, like workbooks and stuff. So I would like look at those. Or just honestly just like Google it. But yeah, definitely grammar stuff and like different rules with like commas and all that stuff I just am not great at, so I definitely had to like study that kind of stuff. First year marriage advice. We're both teachers and coaches and getting married in May. Congratulations. That is very similar to my husband and I. We're both teachers. He is a coach. First year marriage advice. I would say really make sure that with your busy schedules you are making time for just the two of you, because it's very easy, and obviously I've only been married for like not even 6 months, so like we're still figuring this out, but it's very easy in like a busy season to just like come home and be like, oh, I'm tired, and just like eat and go to bed and do that every day, and then the weekends you're just like chilling. Like really make time for each other, like even if you're tired, making sure that, you know, a big thing for us is like when we come home we try not to be on our phones until we've like fully caught up with each other and like talked about our days and stuff. So that's definitely a big thing, especially for like busy seasons, and just communicate with each other, tell each other how you're feeling all the time, even if you're scared to. Yeah. How long before your husband can I talk? How long before your husband proposed? So we started dating in January of 2019 and we got engaged November of 2020. So a year and some months till we got engaged. How did your husband propose? So we both went to college in Dahlonega, Georgia, and that's where we met, and it's just like a place that means a lot to us. So a lot of times for like special events, or not events, but like occasions like anniversaries, birthdays, things like that, we would go up there and eat and stuff. And so it was the weekend after his birthday, and we were planning to go up to Dahlonega to like celebrate his birthday and all that stuff. And we had obviously, like, my proposal was not a surprise. I was not surprised. We have talked about it, we've looked at venues, like I was not shocked. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, this was so unexpected. I expected it. He kept telling me like, we're gonna do something while we're up there, and that was kind of the clue. I was like, you shouldn't have said that. He also let me listen to Taylor Swift the entire drive up there, which was also a clue that something was happening, but I digress. So he took me to this wedding venue that we really loved, and the like landscape in the back is beautiful. And so he was like, we're gonna tour the venue. That was like his surprise. And so we were like walking around and all that stuff, and we like go turn like around the building, and it was like the pretty view, and then he like walked me down and then proposed there. So we did not get married at that venue, but it was a very pretty view, and it was a very, very special day. Do you see yourself doing anything besides teaching? I mean, would you give up? I definitely don't think I'll be doing teaching forever. I do love it, and I'm very passionate about it, but it's hard to explain. Like, I just have this feeling that like I know that I'm not going to be doing it forever and ever. Yeah, I don't know really what else I would do. I love anything like fitness and health, so I've thought about doing something related to that, or one day down the road, if my social media continues to grow, like maybe doing that full time. I don't really know, but for now I'm really happy where I'm at, and I love teaching for now, and I will be staying here for the foreseeable future. What is the best and the hardest part about being married young? Ooh, I think the best part is just like being so young and like having a lot of time to, you know, be selfish and do whatever we want as far as like traveling and my dog just knocked over my guitar. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay. Okay, freaked her out. Yeah, just being able to like kind of do whatever. I guess that's, and we have a lot of time till we have to like worry about kids and stuff like that, and we're kind of like growing up together at the same time, which I love. The hardest part, I don't know what the hardest part about being married young, I guess just like not having a ton of experience with life under our belts, so we're like simultaneously having to figure out like how to be an adult and like have our first jobs, and also how to be married. If there's anything, that's probably what I would say, but I don't feel like it's like so difficult because we're young, if that makes sense. How do you know what to teach? Does the school give you a guideline? Yes, my county that I'm in right now does give us like I have this like thing that I'm playing with anyway. They give us like a curriculum map, I think it's called, or like a pacing guide. And they also give us lesson plans, which is really great. I mean, they're like, you know, not the best things ever. I definitely change them a lot, but they're a great like guideline for me. I know not all counties do that, so I'm very lucky to have that my first year of teaching, for sure, as a resource. March Madness winner, says my friend Riley. Well, up until about 10 minutes ago, I thought it was going to be Baylor, and that's who I picked, and then I was disappointed. So now, who knows? Hoping Tennessee, because my husband is a very big Tennessee fan, so that's what we'll hope. What is one thing you learned as a first-year teacher? Oof. I'm still a first-year teacher, so I'm still learning, and I'll be learning, you know, for years. But one thing, I guess one thing that I've really been learning this year is don't be afraid to ask for help. I feel like this year I've struggled with feeling like if I ask for help, that means, or that if I'm asking like admin, for example, for help, then that's showing them that I can't handle something on my own. And I had that mindset, I don't know why, and so I like didn't want to ask them to help me with something because I was like, oh no, like I need to be able to, you know, do this by myself, and they need to like see that I'm great and all this stuff. But that's just not the case. And like they understand that I'm a first year teacher, and they like see it as a like mature, like responsible, or like good thing, I guess, that I, you know, reach out for help with certain things. So that's definitely something I've learned, is like use the people that are there to help you, because that's like what they're there for. What would you say your teaching style is? That's a very good question, and I honestly don't really know like what my teaching style is. I'm very laid back, I think, but I'm also like hard on them. Like I really like to have fun and joke around. Like we joke around a lot, but yeah, I use a lot of like jokes and like laughter in my lessons. I feel like that really engages them, especially at like the age they're at that I'm teaching now. They're like 9 and 10, so they're starting to like think that they're too cool for school. And so if I can get them to like laugh at me, like think that I'm funny, I feel like that goes a long way. But I also, with every lesson, really try to include their interests, because again, engagement is very important, especially when they get older and they think that school is dumb and that you're dumb. If I can like think of a way to include their favorite things into the lesson, then that really helps. So I feel like laid back and funny, but I can also be very like stern when I need to be. But yeah, I don't really, that's a good question. I don't really know like what different teaching styles there are, I guess, but I would say that would be mine. I don't know if that answers that question very well, but that's what I think. Are you a dog or cat person? As my dog is like running around. I'm definitely more of a cat person, I would say, but we do have both. We have one cat and one dog, and I love my doggy. I love my puppy. Yes. Here's Remy. Say hi, Remy. I am probably more of a cat person, but I do love Remy so much. So much. I love both of our animals dearly. They're the best. Cons of teaching. Girl. Just to name a few. One con of teaching is the amount of time that you have to put in outside your contract hours. So like I only get paid a certain amount of hours, but I am working way more than that every week. I get to school at least 30 minutes early every day and stay at least like 20 minutes late every day. And that's like on average. Some days I'm staying really late and getting there really early, just to get things done. There's no way to get everything done that we have to do in the span of contract time. That's just impossible. If you can do that, I need to talk to you. That's definitely one. I would say the pay is definitely a con. Like it's not awful, but like right now it's just me and my husband and our animals. Like we don't have to take care of a child, and like neither of us are paying for our cars right now, so our expenses are not crazy right now, so we're like perfectly fine. But like when we have kids later on down the road, it's definitely gonna be more difficult. That's definitely a con of teaching. And just like the mental and emotional toll that it takes on you, like having to like deal with screaming kids all day, like just being there early, like being on your feet all day, dealing with all of these things. Like your job description as a teacher is like 15 miles long. It never ends, and it's a lot. But I would do it all for my kiddos. They make it worth it for sure. And you know, find people in your school that you can ask for help, because there are people who are willing to help you to lighten your load for sure. She's just like having a grand old time. I have a suspicion, this is like total side note, we don't know what her exact breed is, but we think she's a pit bull lab mix, but I almost think she has some beagle in her. Come here. Because of her tail. Isn't this like a beagle thing? Come here. Where their tails have like the white on the tip. Can you see that? Isn't that a beagle thing? I don't know. We're gonna do one of those like doggy DNA things for her so that we can find out what she is. Let me know what you think. You think she's pit bull lab? Cause she's a cute little viper. She's so small though, like she fits in my lap and she's almost a year old. So that might be the beagle that makes her smaller. I don't know. Anyway. Okay. I think this is our last question. Tips for education majors. Great question. I would say I have a few. I've talked about this a little bit before in the past, but for starters, find your people. I would not have gotten through the program without the girls that I became friends with. We helped each other so much. I honestly would not have graduated and continued, you know, pursuing teaching if it were not for those girls in my class. I would also say when you are doing your student teaching, a big tip that I have decided recently is like, when you take over the classroom, take over fully. Try everything that you've ever wanted to try, you know, ask all the questions that you can to your mentors, and so that you can really figure out when you go into your first classroom, you've already tried a bunch of stuff, so you know what works for you and what doesn't. Of course, your kids are going to be different, but you can tell, you know, what your teaching style is, what you want to do, all that kind of stuff. So that's definitely a big tip that I have. And also ask about like the little things. Ask about the behind the scenes, especially when you're interviewing for a job. Ask them like, what is your, do you have a school-wide classroom management system? How do you input grades? What are your expectations for inputting grades? What are your expectations for meetings? What are your expectations for collecting data? Like, ask them a lot of behind the scenes kind of things that isn't just about lesson planning and lessons, but like other things, because that's what's caught me off guard the most this year. Ask about testing. That's what's caught me off guard the most this year, being a first year teacher, I think. Well, not the most maybe, but definitely a large amount. Is just like all of the little things that I was not aware of, like inputting grades. It was like the day grades were due and I was like, wait, how do I do this? That they just don't teach you. At least I was not taught that in school when I was in college. So things like that, for sure. Are you itchy? Are you itchy? Oh, thank you. Okay, and I think that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much. If you are watching this and you asked me a question, I really appreciate it. Give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss future videos. I have some fun ones coming up that I'm very excited about. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video and I will see you in the next one. Bye.